Today, we're getting a sneak peek with comedian and writer Dan Rosenberg. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Oh my God, thanks for being here. Well, talk to us about the taping and about what you're raising money for.
So they were going to build a brand new theater, the Bainbridge Performing Arts, and in 2019 we did a special, and we raised money. I was trying to get something named after me.
Oh, nice.
So
good goal.
If we raise enough, I might get a urinal cake or a hand dryer. But we did raise a bunch of money, and then we filmed that in 2019. We finally got it edited, and already we had a whole bunch of technical problems with it. We had to go black and white because I was actually overexposed.
Really?
Which is why we called it Overexposed. One of the cameras glitched out. And so we raised a bunch of money for the new theater, and then the pandemic hit. So, you know, we put it up on Amazon. We didn't really get a lot of chance to go out and promote it, to do live shows. And so 5 years later, we're going to do it again. New material. Some of the old jokes we're going to kind of redo, make them a little better.
The old faves.
And we're going to do this one in color.
Nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful, live, living color.
Appropriately exposed this time.
That's actually what we're going to call it.
Perfect.
Yeah, properly exposed.
Properly exposed.
Obviously, Bainbridge Island's important to you, and thankfully the ferries will work today. You got over here, which is nice. That's a big bonus
on
for us.
time. Like literally, it's right on time today. I was like, wow.
You know, that's a bonus for us here on a Monday. Why is it important, though, for you to give back to that particular community, to Bainbridge Island?
Well, I've been on the board of the theater there. My son, when we first moved up here 15 years ago, he's a little guy. He was like 5 years old. Actually, he was 3 years old back then. But he was in Willy Wonka, and he was in the plays, and he was involved in the theater school. So I got involved with the theater. And there was an older building, and you know, I'm like, let's help raise money to. I didn't raise anywhere near the budget that they spent. I mean, it was like an $18 million project. We did like $1, comparatively speaking.
Cool. You're also screening the pilot episode of your series that, fun fact, stars Grammy-winning rock star Rick Springfield.
Yes.
Tell us about the show and what people can expect.
So many years ago, I was at a concert in LA. And it was a Rick Springfield concert, and he was in his 50s at the time. And he took off his shirt, and women were like going crazy. And I leaned over to my buddy and go, this guy's old enough to be my dad, and look at this. And then I thought, that's a sitcom. Because the dads in sitcoms are always overweight and balding. What if the kid's overweight and balding, and the dad's good looking with the nice thick head of hair? And so I came up with a concept. It was originally called Dan's Dad. And then during the pandemic, I started working again with my original writing partner, Eric, back in Pennsylvania, where I'm from originally. And we totally changed the pilot. We made him a rock star because we figured, well, it's Rick Springfield, why not? And I started working with this executive producer guy named Barry Katz in Los Angeles, and he was able to hook us up with Rick Springfield. And he was an absolute treat. I mean, it was...
Did he love the story?
Yeah, and just the fact that it was organic of how I actually came up with the idea.
Yeah.
And we shot most of it here in Seattle, in Paulsbo and on Bainbridge Island.
Oh, cool.
Except the Rick Springfield part, we shot that in Calabasas. And we tried to make it, there's palm trees and it's really sunny, but other than that, you have to think that it's actually Seattle.
I've got Jesse's girl kind of going through my head right now. You know, right? Exactly. I mean, my wife is probably like, hey, can I meet Rick Springfield? Is he here today? He's not here today. How much fun was that to work with a guy like? Because he's not just a great, I mean, the singer, but obviously the actor for so long. What was it like to work with him?
He's an amazing actor. A lot of people don't realize. I mean, General Hospital is not usually amazing acting to be on a soap opera. It's just it's memorization. But he's been in a bunch of movies. He was just in a movie with Meryl Streep, and he's funny. He's really, really funny. And some of the jokes that we did were things he came up with while we were shooting. So he was a real joy to work with.
Well, how fun. And now you're less degrees away from Rick Springfield. We both are, but...
yeah, she might talk to me tonight.
That's very exciting. Where would you say you get most of the inspiration for your comedy? Especially around here.
Well, the ferries? No. A lot of it's just general things that happen in life. You know, I try to look at the mundane. Seinfeld was always a big inspiration growing up. I mean, I remember I watched the first special, or the first episode he ever did of Seinfeld, when it was the Seinfeld Chronicles. And it's just, you know, that kind of material that everybody can relate to. I don't really do dirty material. I try to keep it clean. My rule is always, if my parents in the audience, you know, I don't have to change my act, so let's just keep it clean to start with.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Overexposed, tell us about that. It's on Amazon, correct?
Right now it's on Amazon and YouTube. We just found out the audio is way better on Amazon, but it's 99 cents on Amazon.
NFL found that out too.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's available there. I think it's like 99 cents on Amazon Prime, or if you just want to watch it for free, it's on YouTube. The new special, we're not sure where we're going to put it yet.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out. My director, Scott Breitbarth, is here with me today, and you know, maybe part of this will end up on the special, who knows?
Yeah, and you also used to be a radio host, and you wrote a best-selling book called The Book on Hosting, How to Not Suck as an MC.
Yes.
So give the people some advice here. How does someone, you know, do this?
How do you not suck?
Yeah.
Well, so most comedy shows, the MC is a really important part.
Yeah.
And they'll throw the newbie out. And they go up and they don't know how to do proper introductions. They make this show about themselves. And so I kind of made like a top 10 list of how to host shows when I had a little comedy club in Los Angeles. And that grew into 25 different items. And then it turned into a book. It turned into workshops.
Wow.
And now it's going to become a podcast. I'm going to finally hit the 21st century or wherever we are. And I can do a podcast about hosting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a lost art.
I find emceeing to be really difficult because you can see everyone's faces when you're doing it. You can see how they're reacting to you. So that sounds like a great book. Dan, thank you so much for being here today.
That was fast.
Yeah,
yes.
I know. It always goes really
quick.
fast.
Easier than hosting a radio show.
It is.
You can join his comedy special taping. It's happening this Wednesday on Bainbridge Island, and you can listen to hear your laugh when it comes out.
Yeah, be there. We need lots of audience. We're doing 2 shows.
Yeah.
So edit around them.
Great. We posted a link with more info up on our website.